My husband wanted to use my sister as a free surrogate, so I used his perfect brother instead. My husband always said he'd do anything to become a father, but I never imagined anything would include my younger sister. We'd been trying for 3 years. Every negative test felt like a tiny funeral. Mark would sit beside me scrolling adoption sites like he was shopping online, sighing louder with each click. Then at Thanksgiving, my sister Emma offered to be our surrogate. She'd already had 2 kids. "I'd do anything for you," she said, squeezing my hand. Family helps family. I watched Mark's eyes meet hers across the table. That should have been my first warning. The fertility clinic quoted us $30,000 for IVF with surrogacy. Mark started a spreadsheet calculating loans and even selling his motorcycle. Then one night over Chinese takeout, he set down his chopsticks. "What if we did it the traditional way?" I laughed. "What do you mean, traditional?" He leaned forward, completely serious. "We skipped the IVF. I just plant my seed directly in Emma. No medical costs. People did it for centuries." My chopsticks clattered to the table. The guilt trips started immediately. "I guess you don't really want kids. Other wives would understand the sacrifice." He even compared me to his coworker Janet, who'd donated eggs to her sister. Then Emma called. "Mark explained everything," she said, voice dripping with concern. "I want you to know I'm open to it, whatever helps you become a mom." She talked about how beautiful it would be to create life for her sister, how the baby would be so loved by everyone. I thanked her, but said I wasn't sure. Then I hung up and started digging. When Mark was at his brother's bachelor party, I searched his office. Behind the tax returns, I found a folder labeled medical. Inside were test results from 2 years before we married. Male factor infertility. Sperm count, 0. Congenital, irreversible, no surgical options. He'd known, through every fertility appointment. Every time I sobbed over negative tests. Every time doctors said my body was failing us. Then I opened his laptop, found texts with Emma going back 6 months. "Once she agrees to the surrogacy, we won't have to sneak around anymore. This is really going to work. We'll finally have a daughter of our own." Emma had written, "She'll probably thank us for taking the burden off her." With a laughing emoji, Mark replied, "We'll tell everyone the baby needed its biological mom, that it couldn't bond with her properly. They'll think we're doing what's best for the child." I called the one person Mark hated most, his perfect older brother Ryan. When I told him everything, he just said, "Jesus, even for Mark, that's evil." When I said I had a plan but needed his help, he didn't hesitate. "I'm in." The next morning, I acted defeated over breakfast. "You're right, we should be practical about this." Mark's whole face lit up. That night, I asked him to come home for an important conversation. "I've been thinking about your traditional suggestion," I said calmly. "And well, I found someone. We've already started trying." His face went white. "What do you mean? You're infertile. Who?" "Oh, didn't I mention?" I smiled. "Turns out I'm perfectly fertile. Just needed someone with working equipment." Then I called upstairs. "You can come down now." Ryan walked down, adjusting his tie. "Hey, little brother. Thanks for the practical suggestion." I tossed Mark's fertility report on the table. "Why are you upset? You're sterile. You've always been sterile." Then I held up my phone. "Oh, and I just sent Emma your test results. She's finding out right now that you can't deliver." His phone started buzzing wildly. He lunged at me, screaming, "You ruined my life." But Ryan was already dragging him to the door. I filed for divorce the next morning. Emma dumped him the second she found out he was sterile. Now I'm happier than ever. But sometimes I wonder, does Mark lie awake at night, wondering if his perfect brother really did screw his wife? Wondering when I might be expecting Ryan's baby? That uncertainty? That's my favorite part.